Okay, so tonight we've got an investigation in Mount Albert, Ontario. The building was originally a church manse, built for the Presbyterian Church. Then eventually, a few years later, it was purchased by the town apothecary. William and Sarah Lloyd purchased it in 1889. It really remained that way until the 1980s. They only had one child, Olive. She died a spinster there. I'm not sure if that will work into the claims at all. Claims itself in this place really have to do with a little child on the main floor, I believe in the back dining area, and a woman, in old school dress upstairs, having something to do with the women's washroom. So we're going to set up some equipment to test that. We're going to test the acoustics of the building, etc., etc. Got a good team tonight. We got myself, and Sandy, and Scooby, and Aaron, Linda, and Fiona. Full Jeep full of equipment, so we should be able to catch something, we hope. Watch.
Alright, it is July 25th here at the Lloyd House Public Environment in Mount Albert, and this is Tina. She is the manager, and she asked us to come. So Tina, how long have you worked here?
I've been here approximately 5 years. It was in 2017 that Doug bought the building and started the renovation process. There weren't a lot of significant things happening during the renovation, but as we came closer to the end of the renovation, the biggest thing that happened to me was they had just done the toilets upstairs in the women's washroom. I was in the office doing paperwork, trying to organize everything, and I was in the building by myself. Doug would always make sure that I would walk in the building by myself, so there was absolutely nobody here. And all of a sudden, this is the fire door. The fire door only closes when there's a power failure. There was no power failure. So I'm in the office and I hear a bang, and when this goes off, it is loud, it's magnetic, so it's loud and it slams. And there is no power interruption. So I come downstairs to find out what's happening. Over the door where the kitchen is, water was just pouring. And that's above the bathroom. So whoever put the toilets in didn't seal them properly. So I was alerted to a flood, and I would not have heard it upstairs from where I was. So that was quite significant. No one else here. I've been here for 5 years, but I was gone for a year. Just before I came back, customers were telling me that they had seen the bartender walk behind the bar, and all of a sudden went face down. Customers got up, there was nobody there. The other manager was in the back eating. And these are two people that you would not believe. So before we opened, the whole building was empty, everything was ready. We had to put the furniture in yet. So Doug had his boys and some friends, they all had a big Nerf war. It was great. All the Nerf balls, all the little pellets and everything had been picked up. Everything had been put into the building. Everything was ready to go. For about 3 weeks after that, just in the middle of the floor, I'd find little Nerf balls. I'd find them in places that we look all the time. All the time. So it's pretty significant what some of the things that happen there. Customers have told us about a man in a green suit upstairs, and a lot of customers have told us about a little girl upstairs. A lot of the activity seems to be around that bathroom. Somebody had told me 4 or 5 years ago that they believed that was like a porthole, that area, but they couldn't say why. So this building was built in 1885. It was the pharmacist's home, and he had, where you work, that was his pharmacy, and he did a lot of the mixtures here. So this front room was part of his laboratory, and this was the first house in Mount Albert to have lights. He ran glycol pipes down from the drugstore to here, so you could actually have lights. We don't know of anybody passing here horribly. We don't know of anything that has happened here that would have ghosts or paranormal activity. So where that has all come from, nobody seems to know. We call the little girl Clarabelle. Ian Bowes, the old owner, he had a dessert named after her, but I can't remember what they called her. They called her something, but there has been so many people that have seen this little girl upstairs. That's why I have dolls in that room upstairs for her, just for her. Now, I've never seen anything, but I know things have happened.
And when you're working here, or when you're your employees, you get a sense of calm while you're here, like you're.
Oh, it doesn't bother me. I used to work at the Grey Goat, and a lot of stuff happened all the time there, so I'm used to that. So maybe I just don't notice it. I know my girls are scared to go upstairs, they're scared to go downstairs, and I don't know, it's just from everybody saying things to them. It's just their own subconscious freaking them out. But other than that, I don't. No. Do I feel like there's a presence here? Yeah. I'm here a lot on Mondays when we're closed, and I feel something, but I'm not. It doesn't worry me or scare me.
Perfect. All right, well, hopefully tonight someone will come in.
Yeah, I'm very excited to find out, because we would like to know, what you pick up and what you do find. You were here the other day and you did notice that there was a lot of activity.
Yes.
But I'm curious how many. That's what I'm curious to know.
Well, it'd be good to know if we can get some names.
Yes.
Because we do have a really good outline of the history and the owners. So it'd be good to know, is it a past owner of the property, or a guest that came here and really enjoyed themselves and thought they'd just hang out a little bit longer. So it'd be really cool to find that out.
Yeah, and we're very curious if it is a little girl, because there was nothing tragic that transpired that is in any of the literature from here. We have also in the bar, we also have a gentleman, Mr. McGilvery, put together all the fires of Mount Albert from the 1800s to now. So who knows, right? There weren't a lot of deaths,
Yes.
but who knows if that's just something that came this way.
Perfect. All right.
Fiona, copy?
Copy.
Okay, so I'm in the main room. Can you see me?
Yes.
That's how I felt when I first came back. Jeez. But yeah.
Stay away from the camera.
I can see half of you.
Okay, that one's fine then. Okay, can you hear me going through the audio?
Yes, I can.
Okay. we're going to be putting another camera up here before we lock it off.
Are we being
That's your side. I can see your head to your side.
Okay, I want to have so the bar mostly covered.
I can see all of the liquor bottles. I have a clear view on the bar.
Okay, so you got a comfortable view of the bar.
Yeah, so if anything's going on, I can see it.
Okay, so we're going to have a camera that's going to be focused on here. We're going to have proximity panels put here. And I'm going to put an EDI up here where the camera can see it. All right, so it can see crazy children. And this door, it was shut. And the door to where the little kid is, it was shut. Only when we investigated. Okay, Fiona, so why don't you describe to me what you got going on here?
We've got all of our DVR cams set up. So we've got one in the basement, one in the bar right around the corner, the middle room right there,
Pointing at us,
pointing at us. We have the upstairs bar right here.
Yep.
We have the upstairs lounge. We have the hallway where the prox panels and DVR are going to be. We have the room where the kid has been seen right there, and we have the upstairs bathroom.
Okay. Very good. Okay, walk around that room alone. Oh, hell. So if they ever had any... Oh yeah, if they ever had any claims of like hearing footsteps, if there's somebody up there, that's loud. Okay, so then I'm going to go out to the main room here and walk above me. Oh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're throbbing. I can actually hear you right into the, we'll call it the kids' room. Yeah. Okay, so are you walking lightly or like walk hard? Walk like you've got boots on.
I was stopping.
Okay, just walk normal. Okay, walking normally actually isn't too bad then. If you were stomping, I could definitely hear you, but walking, just lightly walking isn't a big deal. But I think acoustically speaking, one floor to the next, you're going to get it. Now, press your button.
Right off.
Yeah, off the chart, yeah. Right here is 87. Still got 28. 53. There you go. 29 degrees. The other one's 49.
Okay, so here we are. We're all done. At this point in time, we're at the point where we're going to be turning on the machines upstairs and locking off those rooms so that there's nobody going in them. We want to do some acoustic testing, so we'll have the microphones going, and we'll have cameras on both floors so that we can document walking up and down. I don't know if that's part of the claims, but we should be prepared in case that becomes part of the claims. Then we'll go lights out. I don't expect too much more than an hour or two. And we already know what we need to do with that in the video. So we're all covered. DVR is all on. All equipment is up in that bathroom upstairs, so I'm expecting results up there. And yeah, simple as that, guys. Alright, so here we are in the basement. I don't think we're going to get a lot of audio down here, but maybe we can get some things happening. This is a house that was built for a church, and then the Lloyd family owned it. So William or Sarah or Olive, maybe you hid down here at one time. Can you touch one of us, please? Erin over here is in the other room. She's got a camera. She's looking nervous.
Okay, I know I can't talk on camera, I'm just saying.
I know. Can you help us? Can you touch her? She's having to learn the ropes. Not being scared. Can I get you to crawl through this doorway? Come through here and talk to me. If you need to use my energy, you may. I'm not scared of you. Make something move. Can you move like one of these wires? Knock on the door behind Scooby? We've all got these devices with these lights. I know that can seem a little intimidating. Now all I can hear is a lot of noise, so you're going to have to be really loud when you talk. So if you could speak up, make noise to me, that would be really great. I'm on my knees and my toes right now. You can come over and knock me over. If you want to hit me, go ahead. I don't think you want to hit me though, because I don't think you're like a violent family. It doesn't make sense. Scooby's over there. She's taking pictures. Okay, we'll tag that I'm hearing knocking noises on this. As if something's tapping the...
No,
Huh?
I can't. I'm sorry. I don't know what the fuck that was, but I'm not.
Okay. So film that way. Did something touch you in there?
No, it was like a I know it's a mechanical thing, but it was literally a
Okay. So here.
Sorry, David.
No, it's fine.
Second basement.
Shh. Hand me the camera. Now, I want you to talk to the camera. All right?
Okay.
What did you hear? What was the problem?
We're sitting in the door,
Yep.
and I hear.
Okay. So I got to go in there. I'm going to go in there and see if I can get that duplicated by mechanical reasons. All right. You take that back. Okay, I'll go in by myself. Okay, make that noise again.
We asked you to throw something or move something. And Erin heard a noise in the other room, so we're just trying to figure out, was it a motor or were you actually singing a song? Were you trying to get our attention?
The noises back here are pretty consistent. I don't see that happening. Do you think you got it on video camera, the noise?
Like I literally was sitting. I didn't move until after the whoo stopped.
As I'm moving up, these are parabolic mics, so I'm going to move them around to see if I can find something that makes that noise. Trying to see if I can hear that noise. We didn't hear it though. Did you hear that noise?
No.
No. None of us heard it. So if it was mechanical, like a belt going off, it would have made the noise.
It definitely sounded. I don't know.
Well, that's good. I'm happy. We hope you can follow us around. We're not going to be in the basement a whole long time because who hiccuped?
No, that was just me giggling.
Oh, come to me. What can I do? If I lay down on the ground? Here, look, I'm totally vulnerable. Make noise next to it. Down here on this floor, over there, we have a little boy. Girl. Sorry, little girl. My bad. Now, there's no proof, but there's speculation that this little girl had something to do with a family that moved in here in the 80s. And there was a problem with a bat infestation. She got really sick due to the bat droppings. Now, if you want to knock one of these chairs off, that would be very cool to show us that you're here. If you want to knock a chair off in the other room, maybe you're too worried about being in this room with us. We understand. We understand that you probably don't have the strength, you know? Maybe it's because you're a little girl, maybe you can't reach these tables. Maybe it's because you're spirit and you haven't got that strength. I'm getting an idea that you probably have feelings still. I think spirit still has feelings. Otherwise, you wouldn't be interested in us. Or make these numbers go up. The glass is fluctuating by ones, nothing. Temperature staying the same. Relative humidity staying the same. Okay. My wife Sandy is over here. She's listening to you with a funny little device. And you can go up to there and you can talk right into that device. As you can see, I just made her very unhappy, and I will pay for that. I like to make a lot of jokes. Sandy likes all of my jokes.
That may have been me, I took the chair.
No, over there. That sound like the same noise to you?
There's like a weird knock on.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's just a knock. Okay, so we had a noise stemming from whatever that was.
I have the exact time.
Okay, so you made a noise. We're thinking we've got a noise. Something sounded like it got knocked over. I thought it was the door that was closing. But you guys, when I did that, you guys heard that. It was a thud, right?
Yeah.
But you heard that.
It's like a rattle.
Yeah, it was, yeah. Okay. Follow me.
And it's not that I used to.
Okay, so what I need you to do is, I need you to make that noise again. I need you to be noisy.
So there's lots of things in this room you could move to. We've got salt and pepper shakers over there. You can move a picture on the wall. Was this your living room? Did you used to come and play here? Maybe you ran around and your mom and dad told you to stop running because you were going to knock something over.
Just tagging that door squeaking. There's opening and closing the door.
If you want to play tag, you can touch me and we can play tag.
And we know that insulin and penicillin came into use in the early part of this century, last century. Can you tell me who made penicillin? Or insulin for that matter? Do the names Charles Best or not pretty good. Sorry. Do the names Charles H. Best or Louis Pasteur mean anything? Both those drugs are still very much in use today in the year 2021. There's a lot of diabetic drugs out there. Lots of them. I don't know how many existed then. Can you tell me some of the diabetic drugs that you would use then besides insulin? Just tagging a loud car driving by. There's a lot of opiates that were used back then. Morphine, opium, and heroin were involved in a great deal of pharmaceuticals. I'll discuss more of those when we're upstairs, give you a talk. Mr. Lloyd, it's a beautiful home. I mean, it's a beautiful home even now, but I'm assuming it would have been really beautiful then. I'm thinking you were a pretty regal person in this town. I don't imagine, Mount Albert isn't exactly a metropolitan right now, but I can imagine 100 years ago, you'd have been really kind of a handful of people. You would have been pretty important. I'm saying that probably the druggist would probably be as important as a doctor back then. Probably acted almost, hand in hand with the doctors. A lot of the times, when I've had problems, I just talk to the pharmacist because they know what the doctor's going to prescribe anyway.
Okay, so we've got a teddy bear. Yeah, it's really warm in here, Boo Bear. And there's some balls on the table, but there's lots of forks and knives you could move and clang around if you wanted to. Did you use this as your dining room? Did you sit here and eat? I know Olive lived here her entire life, from the time she was a little girl until she was a little old lady. I'm not sure if you died in this house or if you just lived here to be a ripe old age.
Dave, when you were walking, were you grunting?
Oh, I will. Okay, so we're putting a Panasonic audio in here right now, as you can see. It is recording. All right. Just because we need to make sure we have something audio. It's pleasant that you're giving us noises. I appreciate that.
So are we playing hide and seek with you now? Are you just going to be in the rooms that we're not in? Well, if you want to play tag, you have to come over and tag one of us. So you can tag my friend Linda here, or myself, or even Sandy. Sandy's listening with her...
Listening thing.
Yeah, with her cat ears, as I like to call them.
Hearing all these noises back there?
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if they've got a zapper.
And Dave's walking around. Go tag him. He's trying to find you.
Could possibly be like either a bug zapper or like one of those air fresheners.
That's what I was thinking.
Like
Yeah.
that lets off a spray.
So we're in this room now. I'm guessing this might have been master bedroom, maybe? It's pretty big for a kid's bedroom. It's a pretty big bedroom. I don't know what the sleeping arrangements were like, but I'm guessing that this is probably the bedroom. Now it's a bar. How do you feel about this place being a bar? I don't know how puritanical people were or what your religion was. I don't know how you feel about this being a drinking establishment. Can we go back into talking about some drugs? Okay. Did you ever give anybody amphetamines? Or we would call those beans. People would take amphetamines so that... What? Again? Chairs are moving downstairs? Can you recopy that? Are you saying there are chairs moving downstairs?
I don't know if someone's inside where things are moving, but I'm not hearing anyone mention their presence, like an employee.
No, you'd have heard that door clam. The door is loud. There's nobody inside downstairs.
Yeah, I also heard like the ting of a chair moving, like a metal light chair.
Okay. Well, hopefully we pick up something down there. We want to feel you. We want to see you. I want you to move something here. Pull open a chair. Can you feel it? Do you have feelings when I talk to you right now? Do you have feelings? Do you feel sorrow that you've passed on? Sarah is no longer with us. Sarah, maybe you're here. Are you together? Maybe. One would hope. I hope that when I pass on, and Sandy's passed on, that we can meet. That's the idea. I don't know where we live. I don't think we live in a tenement, but we probably stay in our trailer, which probably would be all wrecked by then. Laudanum, that's the other drug. Laudanum, that's an opium-based elixir that seemed to be the cure-all at some point in time. Did you ever prescribe laudanum to anybody? I kind of wish I had laudanum some of those days, but they took all the fun out of pharmaceuticals. Now we have pharmaceuticals like benzopines, and a benzopine is, you know, it's basically as close to an opiate as you're supposed to get, I think. I'm not a druggist, I'm not a chemist, but you can correct me, because I was chronically sick and not able to work. So right now I didn't tell my doctors that. But now I take a pill that's supposed to calm you down.
Every time you talk about pills, though, it goes up to 0.9.
Oh yeah?
Right now it's 0.3.
Okay, that's interesting. We shouldn't have any spikes, certainly not right here. But that's not a big enough spike.
No.
William, talking about drugs, benzopines, did you do the drugs that you prescribed and made? Were you taking any opiates? Was Sarah taking any opiates? Here goes. Was Olive, were you possibly prescribing some for Olive? I know Olive lived in this house till her death. And Olive, if you're with us, make yourself known.
Okay. So my friend Olive, I am here by myself. I don't look into mirrors, especially at nighttime, but I've been told that that's where you appear. So, I'm here to see you appear. Now, there's two mirrors, I'm not sure which one I'm supposed to look into, so I'm going to look back and forth between the two and hope that in one of them I'll see you, or one of our cameras will pick up a picture of you. I think it would be really cool that, you know, there's a lot of stories in Mount Albert about you, and that you hang out here in the bathroom, and people see you in mirrors and see you in the bathroom, but nobody's actually caught any evidence, and that's kind of what we're here for. Now, I do notice that there's curtains behind me that are white, and people have said that they see you in a long white dress. So I'm just wondering if maybe it's at the corner of their eye, they see the curtains, and maybe they think that that's your dress. Or that it's a person in a dress. And we've heard conflicting stories about there being a little girl or a little boy that is up here. So we don't know if it's you, Olive, as a young lady or an older lady, or if it's children. I'm going to try my best not to be freaked out when these lights turn off, so just bear with me. There are two little balls on the sink cabinet that you can touch and light up. If you want to knock them on the floor, you can do that too. Maybe if you're just a child, you'd like to play with those. There's also a panel on the ground, and if you walk over it or touch it, the lights will turn on, and we'll catch that all on video to prove to a lot of people that you are here. Really not sure how I'm going to react when these lights go out, by the way. And there go the lights. Alright, well at least there is a light coming in from the window in the back, so I'm not completely in the pitch black, which
whatever. So I'm not sure which mirror to actually look into. So at least it's not pitch black in here anyway. But I can see if people were looking at the big red mirror that's like a door, if they had out the corner of their eye, they're looking in the mirror and they see the white curtains, that could potentially look like someone was standing there. It's also not a new mirror, so it could even have some wear on it on the side to make it look a little bit on the hazy side. Let's get in here. All right, Zeke. Jesus. Better you than me.
You know what it is weird though?
What?
I turned these on and they're both turned off. Both the cat balls. I turned them on and I shook them to make sure they both worked. Both the buttons are off.
Interesting.
Well, that was a pretty good night up there. We had a whole bunch of pings and pangs and some things falling over and some chairs moving. Some voices I think we heard over the PIC line audio, so I guess we'll have to do some rearranging and listening to audio and go over all that evidence and take the next week or so and really put the effort into it. It's 2 o'clock in the morning right now and it's time to go home. So, hope you enjoyed the video. Okay, so my summation as far as the Lloyd House pub goes. During the investigation, we did have a couple opportunities where there were chairs being dragged across the floor from a different floor that we had heard. We did have a situation, we had some things being knocked down and slamming. You know, like we didn't witness this with our eyes. And we did have some little EMF spikes here and there for probably a multitude of different reasons. Of the EVP, it's a really kind of nifty trend on those. You know, if you kind of put it in the narrative of it being maybe Mr. Lloyd that was there, you know, the lights, yes, and the right, okay. If you think about having an older man staring over your shoulder and kind of confirming as you're doing things, it's the same voice between the two. And then the no, obviously when I was speaking about certain pharmaceuticals, I don't know the answer to that. I do know that we don't have really necessarily the actual evidence to come up with to back up what the claims are there of the young girl child and the older woman, which are all pretty common. It could be very true, we just didn't happen to catch it that night. We did have a lot of experiences though, but with the EVPs, which, you know, could or could not be, two of them unfortunately were like one was during setup, and the other one, the camera was actually disabled and we were trying to fix it. The one we caught on camera. But you know, it's always up to debate as to whether those are any good or not. The best we can do is present them as we can't debunk it. We started off with like 20 odd hits on the audio and ended up with 3. So, you know, judge for yourself. I have a feeling there could be some activity in this place. You know, we had a really fun night. It was a good night. And like I said, there was a lot of things just seemed to be spontaneously happening around us, a lot more than what would normally occur on a regular investigation. But it's hard to kind of like justify things based on, you know, personal experience and a couple of maybe EVPs. You know, these aren't class 1A EVPs that we got out of there, like they're maybe like a class 3C, because, you know, they had to be buggered with a little bit in order to really peak them up so you could hear them, but you can make it up for yourself. I'm not saying haunted or not, I'm saying there's possibly some responsive activity there, and that's what I'm going with. So thanks for enjoying the video.
Said in the basement? Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I heard that right before I wrote that.
All these right here, these tall lights. Upper, that over there, and then there's one back here. I can shut this off now.
Use the color. Here we go.
That's cool.
They're back here. I'll get him. Yeah. I have.
So right now I didn't tell my doctors that. No. But now I take a pill that's supposed to calm you down. But it's a real bitch to get off. Because I know you probably had sleeping pills for people back then too, and getting off